Hello and welcome back to Channeling Consciousness. I'm Michelle and I'm going to do your reading today. The date I'm recording is August 26th, 2023. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If you find this on some other day and it calls to you to watch it, then that's when you're meant to hear it. I always do my disclaimer first. All my readings are always for entertainment purposes only. They are never intended to be used as medical or legal advice, and it is always important to follow your own intuition. My readings are always used, hopefully, for clarity, validation, for your own intuition, not for fortune telling. So this will tell us the energy about what's happening right now. You always have free will, so if you don't like what the reading is saying, you can have at it to change the course of that, because you do get to make choices in your life. I always use the example of, if I tell you in a reading that I see you winning the lottery tomorrow, for example, and you never go play the lotto, there is no way for you to win it. So the same holds true for anything else. You have free will. And again, this is not for a fortune telling. It is for clarity and validation, usually what we already know to be true in our gut and our intuition, that we tend to talk ourselves out of with our logical brain, because we want everything to be logical. So sometimes we just need that little extra nudge to say, yes, you're headed in the right direction. This is interesting. Some of this is the same type of energy, that we had the other day, not yesterday, but another day this week. So let's get started with these cards, and then I'll pull some for my other deck. This card deck is the Fairy Tarot by Radley Valentine, my trusty, tried and true deck that I just love because, well, I love these colors. So I've been using them for years. Okay, so interesting. We have a 14. Interesting. I don't always notice the numbers. And when I'm looking at these cards, we have 14. We have 7 and 2. 7 times 2 is 14. And we have 4, which we have 14. So there's this energy with the 4 and the 7 happening here. So if those numbers happen to be significant to you, take that. And if it does not, then it might not mean anything to you, and that's fine. So our first card is the balance card, and it says take everybody's input into consideration, merge viewpoints, create a better solution, take your time, there's no need to rush. So what's interesting is that this is the second time I'm recording this reading. The first time I was kindly interrupted by my children one too many times to keep the recording, and so I just scratched it and started over. And in the first set of cards, my first card that was out was actually the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man is all about perspective and changing viewpoints, or to take a pause. This is like kind of the same message. Look at everybody's viewpoint, maybe needing to shift our perspective, maybe needing to open up our mind a little bit and not live from the emotional space, so that we can look at things. Here I'm telling you at the beginning of my spiel to, use your intuition, but sometimes we do have to get out of our emotional state to see the facts, because we do live in the 3D world, right? And so we do have to function within that matrix. So merge viewpoints, create a better solution, take your time, there's no need to rush. So maybe there's something going on that you're like, I see it from all these different ways to handle something. I see it from all these different ways to approach problem solving. And perhaps you're working in a space of fear or a space of anxiety, or kind of almost jumping the gun before you have all the information. So this is just like a reminder to pause sometimes. There's always that we want to respond and not react, and that's really hard to do when we're faced with an argument that we're passionate about. It's really hard to do when we think we already know the answer. Okay, so this is a pause, reflect, really take, knowing that you've got all the information. The Chariot is next, and the Chariot is success that comes from dedication, self-discipline. It's really like taking that information, grabbing your life, grabbing the situation by the reins, and being in control. Taking control of what's going on, taking control of your life, taking control with the information, taking control by using your intuition, not letting other people tell you how to drive your chariot. Okay, again, a similar message that we got, not the last reading, but I think the one before that I posted. And then the Two of Summer, this can often, like, it looks very romantic, right? It can be a partnership. It can be, it talks about forgiveness and resolution of a problem. Don't give up. Your relationship can be healed. It can be, a card of the Lovers, but it can also be a card of a commitment between two people, or between you and, let's say, you're starting a business, you and a partnership in a business, or you and a vendor that's going to help your business, or you and the person that you're going to rent your space from. So there can be a lot of different scenarios, and I'm not getting as much of a clear cut what this is, because more than one of you is watching this, so it's not going to be the same for every person. But the message is telling me, like, we need to pause, we need to take charge, but we also need some forgiveness and resolution. Sometimes when we have a pattern or a dynamic, and this is interesting, this is coming up, or when we have with like the same individual or with multiple people, right? We dig our heels into our perspective, and then when we are triggered again by that same type of scenario, we automatically go into that same response system. And it's not even a response system, it's a reactive system. It's like when you, like what I'm seeing is the volcano, when you've got the vinegar and the baking soda in the volcano, and you pour that vinegar in, the old science experiment, and it all just bubbles up and explodes. There's little time to react, or little time to respond, because we're not taking the time to respond. We are reactive in our approach, very reactive. Okay, so you have to, it's calling you to take a step back. It's calling you to take that pause. Okay, it doesn't need to be a volcanic eruption at all. Okay, and then the Four of Summer, being distracted or failing to see the magical opportunity, discontentment with life, taking someone or something for granted. What's that card? No, this was the other day. You see, she's just kind of looking out, like she's just distracted and thinking and overthinking, and probably thinking about the same things over and over and over. And down here below is this magical baby, this magical being, saying, hey, like, I'm right here, and you're missing out the opportunity here. Okay. Let me see how I'm not sure. I need to keep that part covered, for YouTube standards. So anyways, failing to see what's right in front of you. Okay. Let me find something to put on this, because I did not realize that was like that. My apologies. just in case there's nothing showing. But, okay, let's get some clarifiers with this to see if there's something specific that Spirit wants us to know about this situation, for anybody in particular. The Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is difficult energy. The Nine of Cups is not. Nine of Cups is fantastical energy, which is success and dedication. Let's see, what else? The Three of Pentacles. There's a lot of contemplation going on. A lot of contemplation going on here. The Three of Cups. Three of Cups. Three of Cups. Let me give you the buzzwords for those bottom cards. So the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords. Victim mentality, being a martyr, stabbed in the back, disappointment, failure, being pinned down, misfortune, disillusioned, rock bottom, the end, death of a situation, closure, betrayal, chronic fatigue, defeat, woe is me attitude. So this is a feeling of helplessness, okay? Which makes sense under here when we're feeling like we're stuck and like there's a disagreement and there's not forward movement because one or both of us in the situation is got our heels dug in and refusing to see it from the other perspective. The Nine of Cups underneath the Chariot kind of, it tells us already that we're taking life by the reins, and I keep skipping over it. Wishes fulfilled, emotional satisfaction, stability, passion for living, happiness, welcoming miracles and magic into my life. Okay, and that comes from some self-discipline, but that also comes from being like taking that pause and moving through this energy and dropping this energy so that you can move forward into this energy here. Okay, the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles, study, planning, strategy, competence, hard work, work ethic, details, motivation. So it's about being kind of like being a hard worker, having new ideas, learning more, studying, and growing from that. I feel like with what we have here and how in the world does that make sense with the Two of Summer, this is looking back. This is some reflection. This is uncovering things, and from the studying perspective, this is not learning a skill like I'm going to go learn woodworking. This is not going to college. This is and I say not going to college for like, to become a nurse or something like that. This is, I'm going to investigate what is happening here. I'm going to investigate what's happening here and what's happening here and making us feel like this. I'm going to investigate from a curiosity standpoint and from a point of things like Akashic Records and things like family patterns and dynamics and ancestral DNA and all these things that are a little bit more, not a little bit, mostly more metaphysical in nature. So learning how that is impacting the scenario, okay? Because knowledge is power. And once we have the viewpoint and the information, we can come up with, this talks about having a better solution, okay? This is coming up with the information that helps us see that there's no right or wrong. that it's not you versus me, that it's not your way or my way, but that, hey, there is other stuff in action here. And it's not about blaming or shaming or pointing the finger. It's about understanding and how to move forward in that understanding. Okay. And then the Three of Cups. Three of Cups. It's all about celebration, supportive friends, pleasure, social and emotional happiness and joy. Lightening up, have fun, celebrate. Okay, so perhaps we're living so much in this Ten of Swords energy that we are forgetting to look at what we have and what we need to celebrate. And actually, you know, if we look at the Four of Summer, she's literally dismissing what's right in front of her and forgetting to celebrate what she's got. Okay, it's the being critical about things in our lives that bring us down, and living in that space and lacking in the space of gratitude and joy and excitement and fulfillment. And it's not that those things are not available in your life. They're right here. They are available, very much available. But we are stuck, super stuck in this energy. Super stuck in this energy. And there's the opportunity. The opportunity is there for us to move out of it. And it's focusing on the gratitude, and it's focusing on and learning about some of these things that can help us shift, to help us unravel what's really going on behind the surface. Behind the surface, what's actually going on. Okay. You know, why are we pouring the vinegar on the baking soda volcano? Why do we keep doing that? We don't like the mess it makes. Why do we keep doing it? This is helping us come to an understanding and to get out of that cycle, because it's not serving anyone, not serving anybody. Okay. And then let's get our little word cards here for us. My brain is starting to think of things I don't want to think about, so I need to shift. I'm going to shift. There we go. All right, the blue flame. Connect to the blue flame, which is the light of pure love within you. Inner worlds, your external world is a reflection of your inner world. Very true. Very true. What's going on inside? Why are we pouring that vinegar in? Why are we creating chaos on the outside that mirrors our inner chaos? Strength. You are being guided by the cosmos. Stay strong. A positive outcome is assured. Okay. So thank you for joining me today. This is a little rougher because we're in this Ten of Swords energy, but it does not have to be that way, friends. It does not. Okay. And while I have you here, I'm going to show you this beautiful crystal because it keeps showing off for me as I'm giving this reading. This is a piece of fluorite. This side is raw on that side. Well, yeah, it's really pretty raw. It's just wanting to show off. Let me see if I can get the rainbows again for you. Right there. You see all that goodness? It's just flashing at me this whole time. It's a nice deep teal. Deep teal fluorite. Really pretty piece. So anyways, I hope you enjoy that little extra rainbows for you. And hopefully I'll be back again in the next few days with another reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, friends.